Any other questions? Yes, sir.
One more. What I know, Krishna.
Yeah.
Krishna is famous for the war he has fought against the then kings.
Yeah.
And you talking about Ahimsa. So, what is the right aspect to actually see Krishna as a embodiment, or it's a vibrations, or how is Ahimsa separate from him when he actually made Arjuna to fight a war? I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, that's a good question. Because the Bhagavad Gita, everyone heard of the Bhagavad Gita? That's our main book. It's like our main teachings on it. So as you can see, it's actually spoken on a battlefield.
Correct.
So people say, oh, you just spoke for half an hour about love and peace and everything, and then your book's on the battlefield. Right? That's contradictory, right? It is, it's contradictory. So why is that? That's a very good question. It's because Krishna himself, God himself, came to earth 5,000 years ago. He lived here on earth in India, walked amongst us. Sometimes he sends his son, Jesus. Sometimes he sends his prophet, Muhammad. Sometimes he sends written. Sometimes he himself comes. That's our understanding of it. So we have to understand war is the last resort. It's the last resort. And if you understand, because people always say, oh, Krishna, he created the battle and did this thing. That was the last way. If you read the history of the Mahabharata, which is the great book, the Bhagavad Gita is just one chapter. He tried to stop that war in many, many ways. He himself went to the opposing army and said, let's just be peaceful, divide everything up, and live peacefully. And they said no. Right? So then why did he say fight? He instructed his warriors to fight. Because the opposing party, they were improper rulers. In other words, they were ruling the planet, ruling India at that time, Bharatvash, the planet. But they were ruling in a egotistic, selfish way, not for the benefit of the citizens. So he had to come in and he had to say, okay, we're going to remove them. He tried to do it peacefully. When that didn't work, he said, okay, let's remove them. And then we'll establish the righteous ruler. So it's the same as us, like we're very peaceful people, right? But if someone is acting improperly, we'll go to them and say, hey, this is not right. And we'll become strong. And that's not wrong to do that. Even though we practice Ahimsa, right? But if someone is acting improperly, we'll say, hey, that's not right. And if someone is abusing another person, like abusing one of our cows or abusing one of our, or any of you, you're all our guests here right now. So if someone starts going a bit funny, right, then we will go and we'll say, excuse me. Right? And if they're not going to act properly, we'll have to be forceful. That's not wrong. Right? That's good behavior. So Krishna, okay, the war came, but that was for the right reason. And we don't like to fight, but then if bad people are acting improperly and harming others, yes, we will fight. I remember a few years ago, I was in India. I was in a holy place called Vrindavan, which is south of Delhi. And then the Hari Krishna movement in Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan's in southern Russia. So it's just, India's there, and then just up above the Himalayas is Kazakhstan, just above Pakistan. So the Kazakhstan government, they gave the Hare Krishna movement some land. And we started building a temple and doing some things. But then the government changed, and the new government, they decided they wanted to take the land back, which was actually illegal. So they came in the middle of the winter, when it was snowing, with bulldozers and started pushing over our buildings. So naturally we responded by internationally bringing attention to the injustice. So then all the Hare Krishnas who were in India at that time, at Delhi is like the capital of India, there's a Kazakhstan embassy. So they said, okay, we're going to do a peaceful march to the embassy. So they called all of us. So we came from every direction, thousands of us. So we got there and we marched up the road and we're marching to the Kazakhstan embassy. But because they were destroying our buildings and so forth, even though we're peaceful, a lot of the devotees were getting very worked up. So it was you could feel the energy. It was starting to be like, and they were saying something in Hindi. I don't speak Hindi. But, I don't know, you're from India, right?
Yeah.
So in India things get worked up sometimes?
Yeah.
cricket and stuff. Everyone gets a bit. So we're going down the road. The guy with the megaphone was going da 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 da. I don't know what he's saying. He was going da, and everyone was going cha cha. And then da 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 cha. So I started doing it as well. I didn't know what he was saying. So we're walking about a kilometre down the road to the embassy. And by the time we got to the embassy, there was a bit of a mood happening. And I thought, well, the embassy is obviously going to be ripped down now. Because everyone's getting ripped. So they had all like the Indian SAS, like the Gurkhas. They all had their machine guns. That's leading on the gate. There's about 20 of them with their guns. They see this stuff every day in India, so they weren't worked up. But we got there, and then one lady came. She was like a sergeant in the army. She came out and she grabbed the mic and said, "Everyone, shanti, peaceful. Just calm down, don't worry." So everyone sat down and got calm. But then, at that moment, then I kind of got the feeling, or maybe we're going to die now. Now we're all going to charge and smash the embassy, and the guys are going to shoot us like that. But I kind of got the feeling, well, if I'm going to war for Krishna, war for God, that's okay if I die now. I was actually feeling pretty good. Maybe this is it, so let's. I was feeling pretty good. But, it didn't happen like that. We all sat down, and I came back to Australia, and now I'm sitting here giving the lecture, and that's the way it all turned out. So we don't like to fight. I've personally, the last fight I actually had, physical fight in my life, was in grade 6, which is like 40 years ago or something. I haven't had a fight for the last 40 years. And when I had a fight in grade 6, it was actually with a friend. We hit each other, and I hurt him, and I still feel bad about that. Afterwards I cried. I didn't like it. I don't like fighting. But if someone is acting improperly, yes, we will fight, and we will. That kind of fighting is okay. Is that okay? Good question. Any other questions?
So what happened with the land?
In Kazakhstan?
Yes.
What happened is that there was a lot of media attention, and governments don't like negative media. So basically we showed the whole world what they were doing, and then they said, oh, no, wait a minute, that was a mistake. You can have the land back and that. And now we've got a nice temple and a nice community and a nice farm there, and it's going okay. But that's just, governments do silly things sometimes. But yeah, the movement's going very well there now in Kazakhstan. It's very popular and it's growing very nicely. But yeah, at the moment we've got a lot of opposition in Moscow at the moment. Same thing happened. They gave us a big parcel of land. Now they want to take it back. And in Russia, the Russian Orthodox Church is very powerful, and it's very connected to the government. And they're feeling threatened because we're becoming very popular, and because they're materialistic. Because the way we see other faiths and other religions, we see it very peacefully. It's all coming from one place. It's not like it's all different. It's just different ways of teaching it, but it's the same. There's only one person up there. So, we can live harmoniously with everyone. We don't have a problem with other faiths and that like that, but some other faiths have a problem with us. They find us to be, threatening or something. So at the moment in Moscow, we're having a similar kind of problem. And in China, we're still underground. The Hari Krishna movement's underground in China, because if we come out and say, and practice in public, the government locks you away. They're still very oppressive in China. China tries to be very it's all nice, but they're actually quite oppressive. So, some places in the world we have to be a little bit careful, a little bit discreet how we do it. Australia is nice. Australia, you can just do whatever you want. Just go down the street and just dance and chant. Everyone's, oh, there's the Haris. It's like